Hi guys, I'm just waiting for Sitka Seafoods to join. Here we go. Hi.
Hi.
Let me go back over here. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm
I'm gonna
good.
adjust my camera just a little. Oh, now I'm headless.
Here,
I know it's hard when there's two screens on here.
Yeah.
Just a little higher. There we go. How are you doing?
Great. How are you? It's so hot here today for Sitka that.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it's close to 70 degrees here and just not a cloud in the sky. It's gorgeous all week long. We're all sweating, not knowing what to do with ourselves here.
I feel like it's like in the 70s here, which is actually like nice. It's been a hot summer here.
Cooler for you, huh?
So it's so fun to be here with you today, and I'm super excited to get in the kitchen with you. I'm going to move mine back a little so you can see my ingredients.
Okay.
Hold on one second. I know it's so hard to judge one until you see both screens on here.
Yes.
Hold on. Let's see if you can. I don't know if you'll be able to see me. Let's see.
Oh, you're still good.
So I'm so excited to be here with you. This is a nice, like, I feel like this is a good live to do. It's a quick recipe, which I'm a big fan of anyway. And for all my followers, this is seriously the best salmon ever. We should probably announce we're going to be making a salmon dish today. So I'm Caitlin, Star Infinite Food for anybody who doesn't know me. And Mindy, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Mindy with Catch Sitka Seafoods. We're so excited to be here with you today, Caitlin, making your beautiful recipe with our delicious coho salmon.
I'm so excited. It's one of my favorites, actually, and like I said, it's super quick. So today we are going to be making a quick broiled 15-minute, or actually less than 15 minutes, quick broiled spicy mayo salmon. And the best part of this is that right now, I believe it's salmon season.
Yes, it is. Yep. We're out catching them right now through, when does it end, honey? I've got my husband here to help me with all the details.
Oh, it usually goes through first week of September.
First week of September, yep.
So Mindy is in Sitka, Alaska. So as you can imagine, this is some of the freshest salmon, straight from Alaska, wild caught. What I love about your company is that, I mean, one, it's the fish is just amazing. Everything from the salmon to the whitefish, the black cod. I have to hide that one. And all your smoked seafood is just absolutely delicious. And I even recently kind of learned more about your process and the fact that, it's actually frozen so quickly and so deeply that you would never even know it was frozen.
Right.
And you can actually use it as a sashimi grade, which I just learned. Prior to that, I did not know that, and I was super excited to learn that because, as you know, I do love doing, different dishes that you can actually use the sashimi grade salmon with. So that was super exciting. And the best part, I mean, I think it was like a silver lining for you with the pandemic. You now deliver to people's doorsteps, which is awesome. I mean, I'm down in Boston, you're in Sitka, and I literally have it in 2 days on my doorstep, and it's great. It's frozen, and it's in great shape, so.
Yes, we're so excited to be able to extend our reach to everybody down south and really just get line-caught, wild-caught fish on your plate, where it should be.
Absolutely. And I know that, I get quite a bit of questions about where I get my seafood, so. I do love my salmon, so this is it.
Yes. We love bringing it to you.
So today we're going to be doing a quick little demo for you, so it's kind of fun being in the kitchen sort of with you. And we are going to be making, like I said, a broiled spicy mayo salmon. This is minimal ingredients, probably things that you already have laying around, maybe one or two things you might need to pick up, but It's a really, really easy recipe. It's really good for like a weeknight. It's good for just the summertime when you just want something quick and not have the oven on for hours or anything like that. So the method that we use here is we bake it for a short amount of time, anywhere from like 7 to 9 minutes, and then we literally put it under the broiler for a few more minutes and you're done. So the prep work, as you will see, it takes about 5 minutes max, not even. So that's why I love this recipe, and I think a lot of people can appreciate easy, quick, and delicious. So,
we tested it out last week, and everybody loved it. It was a winner in my house. So
great.
Thankful for you to introduce me to it.
Well, I think with all that being said, though, we can get started.
Yeah.
You said you have the dish. We can actually show the final dish.
Yeah, I can show the final dish. So this is the final. The end result will be. You can see that.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely delicious. And before we actually start the recipe, if you hang around to the end, or if you want to watch this, or if you are watching this later, we do have a fun little giveaway, which is actually pretty awesome. So we're going to mention that at the end, but first we'll show the recipe. We can actually talk about that while it's cooking.
Yeah.
Tell you a little better. All right, so right now I have my 1 pound of salmon, which is literally 2 of these fillets, so beautiful coho fillets. And I lined a baking sheet with aluminum foil. The reason I am using foil for this recipe is because we do go under the broiler and we really don't need any fire starting. So I'm going to use the aluminum foil. And then the first step is, I guess the first step is actually to preheat the oven, but I think both of us have that ready, right?
Yes, I preheated my oven to 400. One thing I did different than you is I tested in my oven. I was able to get away with a small, tiny piece of parchment under my coho just because it stuck to my foil the first time.
Oh, all right. Well, there we go. I love learning tips. So
yes.
What I do, I usually might do a little spray of oil.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. So I didn't spray, so I learned my lesson.
I try to avoid using aluminum foil as much as possible, so that's actually really good to know in the future.
Yeah.
All right, so now that we have the salmon already, the oven is preheated to 400. I'm just going to take a little square paper towel. You can even use a cloth for this, anything to just pat the top of the salmon dry. I do this for all of my seafoods, all of my meats. Really, no matter what method you're using, if you're searing it, you're going to get a crispier sear. For this purpose, we're putting a layer of an aioli on top, so it's going to stick a little bit easier without that layer of moisture. So no matter what I'm cooking, I always pat and dry. Get rid of that extra.
We recommend too with our fish, once you defrost it, you take it out of the bag just to rinse very lightly in really cool running water. And you can rub the scales off the back a little and just lightly rinse the flesh.
Yes, I do always rinse. I didn't know that you could rub the scales off.
Yeah, you can kind of like rub the scales off if there's any scales that are extra on the skin. And the skin is just beautiful on the coho.
It is.
Makes a delicious crispy skin if you're using a skillet method.
Yes, which is it's another one of my favorites. But, so I'm going to just kind of rinse my hands here a little bit. All right, so we have all that patted dry. So I'm just going to take a little bit of salt and pepper. And again, I don't really measure when I do this, but it's just a little bit to season the top of the salmon. A couple little shakes. I wouldn't overdo it, but just a little bit of seasoning. And then we can actually, once that's done, we're going to set the salmon aside for a minute while we make the spicy mayo to go on top. So, I call it spicy mayo salmon. You can call it an aioli. I think aioli really stands out when you have garlic in it, and we do. So, I would say it's actually more of an aioli. It's just a little bit of a tier method since we are using mayo.
Yeah. One thing that I did, when we tested this out, I made some for our kids too, and I've got a 4-year-old that's not a spicy. So I just used your recipe, but I used a tablespoon of cocoa aminos for the sriracha, and the kids loved it. So if people are making this and they have some littles around that they want a little less spicy option, that works out well.
Definitely. I love adding coconut aminos too. I didn't want to, I usually use cocoa aminos in almost every one of my recipes, but there's some people that just find it hard to find it. So I try not to rely on it too much, but coconut aminos actually would be even a great addition to the sriracha if you wanted to. But another option is, and I actually have a recipe somewhere in my cookbook, but you could do like a mustard or something like that instead of, you don't want the spice, but you still kind of want that flavor. So obviously it's a little bit different flavor, but it still works pretty well. So.
Well, and I'll say that I'm not like a super spicy person, and I ate it with the full amount of sriracha that you put in the recipe, and I thought it was delicious. So not overwhelming at all.
All right, so to make the quick little aioli / mayo, we're going to use a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. You can use any type you want. Anything. I like to use the olive oil mayonnaise. That's just my favorite too. But you can use a vegan friendly, whatever you'd like works pretty well. So avocado mayo, whatever. So we have the mayonnaise here, and then we're going to add a tablespoon and a half of green onions, which I have right here, which I already chopped up. A little tip, I actually use scissors to chop up green onions just quickly. So I'm just going to add that right into the mayo here. And then we have, so the recipe calls for a tablespoon and a half of sriracha. So that's how I typically make it. You can use less, you can use more. Again, you could omit it, you can replace it. But that's what I have here. I have a tablespoon and a half. So
I say throw it in. It's delicious.
I love sriracha, so I mean. Yes. Add that right in here. And you could even use a different hot sauce if you wanted. Some hot sauces are a little bit more spicy because the sriracha is a little bit thicker, so you might want to use a little bit less if you do. But and then we just have a teaspoon of lemon juice, so tiny bit of lemon juice here. I'm gonna pour that in. And I already prepared my ingredients, but
me too.
I'll post the recipe when we do post the video as well. So
my husband did
lemon juice, and then we just have 1 clove of garlic, which I already have minced up here. I'm just gonna put that right in there. And that is it. You can add a little bit of salt if you want. I usually do like a shake, but you don't really need too much. You can always put salt on at the end if you prefer. And then I'm just going to mix this up and combine everything. You should get a nice, thick, kind of like orangey, reddish.
Yeah, turns into a beautiful orange color at the end.
I mean,
I've got it.
Spicy mayo is like one of my favorites. Yeah. So, I've actually done this recipe too with like subbing half the mayo for some Greek yogurt. It comes out slightly different, but it still works pretty well. So, and the flavor is still good. So you can always try that as well.
Yeah.
I've tried it with all yogurt. It's not the same at all. So it
has to be.
You can try it if you want, but it's not going to be that same like luscious result that you get at the end.
Yeah.
So now that we have this all kind of set, we're basically going to spread it on top of the salmon. And typically I use the majority of this, but if you have extra and you only want a small layer, you can always save the rest to have on the side or whatever it might be. But you want to at least cover the top of the salmon pretty generously. And some of it might actually fall off the side when it's baking or broiling, so it's better to use a little bit extra. So I'm going to just scoop a little bit on top of each of these fillets, and then just kind of spread it out. And make sure it's covered on the entire surface here. And if you prefer like a whitefish or something, it works pretty well with a whitefish as well. typically you don't have to bake it as long, but this is actually really good with other fishes too. So.
Yeah, I could imagine this would be delicious on halibut or lean cod.
Mm.
I don't want to cover my black cod that much.
All right. I know, I don't either. It's just
so good.
All right, so I'm going to show you what mine looks like here. So I'm going to put this food in the sink because I did, I'm going to save the rest of this. So this is what my salmon looks like. Nice and covered. And now we're going to place this in the oven, and we're going to bake this for just about like 8 minutes. So place this right in the bottom oven, in the middle rack or the bottom. Right.
All right, and now we relax.
So I set my timer for 8 minutes. The recipe does say 7 or 8. It really kind of depends on the thickness. I had 2 pretty thick pieces, so.
I did use, when I tested it, I used king salmon, and I would recommend going like 9 minutes on the bottom.
Okay.
If you are using king, because it's usually like an inch, inch and a half, or 2 inches thick, and sometimes it can take just a little bit longer, but it turned out beautifully.
All right. All of your salmon is delicious. So you actually have, the king salmon, you have the coho salmon, then you have is it Keta or Kita?
It's Keta. We are having a little bit of, there's not a direct commercial fishery for Keta. It's a bycatch that a lot of times doesn't get used as it should. It focused on as it should be focused on, and we like it for smoking. We love to smoke Keta, so we offer smoked Keta. We are having trouble this season sourcing it for the fresh frozen at the moment. So most of our boxes will be king and coho offering, and we are hopeful to have the Keta soon as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, regardless, all of the ones I've had from you are so good. So.
Yes, they're all delicious. Every single one. My daughter, both of them have a different favorite. One of them likes Keta, one of them likes coho, and Aslam and I, my husband and I, love the king the best. It's, the fattiest, but the kids, they prefer the lighter salmon flavors. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very rare to find the king around here. I can from time to time. It's usually super, super expensive, but it's so flavorful. Similar. It's almost similar to like that texture of like the black cod almost.
Yes. Yeah, it just melts in your mouth and falls apart. And all of our salmon, the reason that it is so much better tasting than other salmon that you get is we catch it's ocean run caught. Sitka is very unique in its geographical location, where all the species, the migratory routes, come right through Sitka. So we catch our salmon in the cold, deep water ocean runs before they ever come to spawn in the streams. And a lot of the salmon that you see on the market is caught at the end of their life cycle when they're getting ready to spawn in streams, and they're not at their highest quality then. And we take them whenever they're actively feeding and in good quality and good healthy condition, and that's the best flavor. And we never we source all of our salmon sustainably. We have very, very high standards for who we accept as our fisher family in Catch Sitka, and we don't buy from just anybody in Sitka. They have to prescribe to our way of doing things and provide us with fish that have been treated properly, and we'll refuse fish if it's been mishandled. So we don't want to send out anything to you that we wouldn't want on our own plate.
Well, it definitely shows in the flavor. And
Thank you.
today we actually, so I think we have a few more minutes. So for anybody watching or watching this later, we have a little fun giveaway for you. So Mindy has offered to give away a 3-pound box of their coho salmon delivered to you. Now, are there any restrictions for, this is US only, correct? Is Mindy? Are you just, I think you just, your volume just went off. You're on mute. I can't hear you. Can you guys hear us? Thank you. Hold on. I can't hear Mindy either. Okay. All right. So Mindy left, but she will be back. Let's hope. Hold on one second. See if I can re-invite her. Hi guys. All right, we will let you know.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Okay. I was like,
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I was like, I can't.
We're
hear you
using my husband's phone, and he got a phone call. I think I have to put it on Do Not Disturb.
Oh, okay. So I was, I don't know if,
I'm not sure what's happening there.
all right. So I was, I don't know if you heard me, but I was talking about the giveaway. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Somebody called in and it just shut you down.
We have like a minute and a half. Well, I have a minute and a half on my timer. So.
Okay.
Yes, Mindy is going to give away a 3-pound box of coho salmon, and I will throw in one of my cookbooks as well, Just Eat Real Food, which you can always find in my bio. There's definitely some salmon in here. And we will let you know at the end. I think probably have you DM, I guess just if you want to DM one of us, or we should probably just do one. So if you want to DM me, and then I will maybe close it at like maybe the end of today or something.
Okay.
Or tomorrow. Well, what do you want? Maybe if you actually will end it tomorrow. I'll close it at the end of tomorrow. It'll give people a chance to check it out if they want, and then just DM me that you watched, I watched the live and I want to enter the giveaway, and make sure you're following both of us. So I will also put that in the comments with the recipe that we're doing today. Or not the
that
comments.
Sounds great. Yeah. A 3-pound coho box comes with 8 pieces of coho, so they'd have enough to make this recipe 4 times.
That's pretty awesome. Yes. It's definitely a good win. I would love it. All right, I'm gonna go. My timer's gonna go off in about 10 seconds here.
Yep, I got 13 seconds.
So the next step is basically we're going to remove the salmon. We're gonna put it under the broiler, and I broil it usually. The recipe says about 2 minutes, but really it's until the top is nice and golden. So anywhere from like 2 to 4 minutes, depending on your broiler and how strong it is. So basically what I'm doing is I just turn my oven off. My broiler is in the top of my oven, and I'm going to turn the broiler on, and I'm going to move the rack of salmon to the top.
Yeah, I have mine about 6 inches from my broiler coils.
So I will just show you what this looks like at this point. So this has been in there for 8 minutes, so you can see it's getting a nice kind of color on top there, if you can. So I'm going to put this under the broiler now. for 2 minutes, and we can check it then. Salmon, I tend to like to cook it just under because it does, once it sits, it does continue to cook and it stays nice and moist. So you still want it to kind of flake off though. You don't want it to be raw. It will be definitely tastier when it's flaky. So.
Also, if it is a little under, it's perfectly safe to eat because it has been frozen to negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit in our blast freezer, like super fast. Kills everything.
And that is why it is also sashimi grade for anybody who wants to make some like poke bowls, which are poke. Yeah. I don't even know if it's poke or pokey. I call it pokey, but
pokey. I'll go with you with that.
Those are my favorites. Or some fresh sushi. I have not mastered rolling sushi yet. I would love to, but typically I like to do like the deconstructed version.
Yeah. I like the rolling. I've used we have the bamboo mats, and if you cover them in saran wrap, that it works beautifully. That's my trick for it.
I think I've been doing a lot of like cooking hacks and stuff in my stories, and I think one of these days I'm gonna go live and we'll just like try out a whole bunch of hacks. I think that would be super fun.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm all about the making things easier in the kitchen. Especially the cleanup.
Oh, me too. I'm not a dishes person. That's one thing. I'm like, is it dishwasher safe? I will buy it.
All right, so we got about 15 seconds here, and I'm gonna check it. Oh, I didn't actually grab a plate. Leave it in for like probably 30 more seconds. It's pretty brown, but
mine is, I think, ready. Yeah, done.
It smells so good.
It does. I'm excited. It's only 10 here, but I think I'll have an early lunch. Thing I need to do with parchment though is hold on to.
Grab another pot holder so I can bring this closer. Alright. Let's do a little close up here. So
beautiful.
It's nice and golden brown. Well, I guess golden red. But so good. And as you can see, some of them, like I said, some of that kind of mayo bakes off the side there, which is why I like to cover it nice and good. So, and at the end here, I have some extra chopped scallions, and then some chopped cilantro, which I think complements it to a T. So I usually just kind of sprinkle a little bit of both over the top. If you're not a fan of cilantro, you can skip this step. You can use parsley. You could also use a little bit of like red pepper flakes if you want it. But we already have some spice going on.
Or chives or something, you know.
Yeah, chives will work. So I'm going to do a little bit of the green onion and the cilantro. And then you can always do a little bit of extra squeezed lemon or anything like that. If you wanted a little bit of sweetness, you could even drizzle a little honey over the top. Honey sriracha, one of my favorite combos. So you can play around with this. This is the final product. And I didn't get, hold on, let me get a plate.
Looks gorgeous.
So pretty. And Mindy took the this wonderful picture for this, which I shared in my stories the other day. It's very pretty. Actually, it's on your feed. So
yes. Thank you.
All right, lift this up. And there we go. the final product. We'll
It's so beautiful.
cut into this with a fork. Show you the thickness. So, can you see that? So it just kind of flakes off. So good.
Yes, delicious.
And don't mind me. I'm actually gonna take a little bite.
I'll join you in that bite.
So good. So fresh. So, like I said, this was a quick recipe. I don't know how long we've been on here, but recipe from start to finish is less than 15 minutes. So you can literally
we definitely talked longer than we cooked. So
yeah. And this is good with like a salad. You can serve it over rice. You can whatever. I mean, it would even be good with maybe like some glass noodles or something like that. You could use.
I served it with steamed broccoli and rice. I think whenever we had it. Yeah. Really yummy. Very delicious.
And you can make a little, sort of like a poke bowl out of this too with the the spicy mayo. Delicious. So I have a little bit of spicy mayo left over, which is amazing because it's one of my favorites. You can even use this as like a dip, or you could put this on some of the rice or whatever. So.
I have another suggestion for the leftover. If you have any leftover salmon, like after your meal, you can flake it up into that spicy mayo and have a spicy salmon dip the next day.
Ooh, that sounds good. And that would be good with actually smoked salmon too.
Yes, delicious with smoked salmon. But it's my favorite way to use up leftover salmon. I don't like to reheat it once I've already cooked it the next day. So I like to mix a little mayo or yogurt or something in and make a little salmon dip or something to
definitely
eat it up.
I know, I'm a big fan. I love salmon cold the next day.
Yes. Delicious.
Some eggs or anything.
Yes.
So that was, I hope you guys enjoyed today. I will post this to my feed as well, and I'm going to send this to Mindy, and she can share this with her followers. So this was a nice quick recipe. I'll put it in the caption. I will also mention the giveaway in the caption as well, and if you'd like to enter, send me a DM sometime before tomorrow. So today is the 30th, so tomorrow, the 31st at probably just the end of the day. We'll just call it midnight Eastern Standard Time. And then, I can pick a winner maybe Sunday morning, and then we will get those prizes out to the winner.
Yes.
And I think that's it really.
Thank you so much for trying us and loving us, Caitlin. We're so excited.
I'm so excited too.
That you found Sitka seafoods.
You guys tried as well. I will. I'll also include. I do have a discount code here if you want to order your own box, your own subscription to receive this, whether it's one time, whether it's monthly, however you want to do it. I have a code that will get you 15% off. So I've shared that before, and I will share it again in the caption as well. So
yes. Thank you so much, Caitlin. It was such a joy today to cook with you.
It was so nice to cook with you too. And now I have lunch made, so I can
Yes. I'm excited. Right. That's the great thing about these lives is that we have everything cooked for the day, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will be talking to you soon. And thank you everybody for joining us.
Thank you. Enjoy your day. Thank you for joining us.
All right. Have a nice one.
You too. Bye.